That's why I really wanted to, have this conversation today for other women to see, like, yo, this is somebody that could be my, mentor, moms.
If I sold 50 houses in 1 year, I definitely touched over 200 people. You gotta be seen, you gotta show yourself. Or, some people don't like showing themselves. Whatever your style is to get out to people, you just gotta be consistent with it and keep doing it.
All right, so what's going on? First and foremost, I want to say thank you for coming on. But one thing I want to shout out about you that I know from, personal experience, we've done a lot of deals, we've done a lot of things.
Yes.
But the one thing I like about you that I noticed and I witnessed and been a part of, you got your foot in like a little bit of everything, right? So especially being a woman, that's different. Like a lot of women these days, they either want to, this might be controversial, but they want to get flued out or they want to get paid for, or they actually do hustle, which a lot of women, it's like 50-50. I take that back. I honestly take that back because as of this, I do want to take that back, right? Because this, I would say this generation, well, this past year or two, I would say I've been seeing, especially in my programs, like a lot of my mentees lately been women. So a lot of women are really coming out the gate and really pushing forward as far as getting into business, getting into real estate. And I think you could help to that. You have helped to that. But then there's another half of women that's still like, I don't really want to get that deep into it. I want to go ahead and have somebody take care of me and stuff like that. I'm not saying either one is wrong, but definitely what I can say I like about you is with some women, they might find a lane they like and they staying in that lane, right? But you're buying properties, right?
Yes.
You're fixing them up, renting them out, flipping them, but then also you're a realtor as well.
Right.
So you helping people do the same thing, which is different because I know other women that's in real estate, but they only do flips.
Okay.
I know women in real estate that only do rentals. I know other women in real estate that only buy and sell houses as a realtor.
Right.
But you kind of like, I'm doing all three and then built a team behind it. That's different. Everybody not doing all those things. So like, what made you want to?
I never thought of it like that.
Yeah, that's the point of, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So my question is, what year did you, when did you get into being a realtor? What was first, buying houses or being a realtor?
Actually, for me, it was buying houses.
A word? Okay.
So I wanted to buy my house at 26.
Okay.
So I reached out to a realtor and he took me through the process. I trusted him so much and I looked at him like, I think I can do what he does. Like, I'm going to try this real estate thing. So my realtor was actually the one who inspired me to get into real estate. 15 years ago, I sold my best friend her first house.
Okay.
So I got my license in 2006.
Okay.
I've been licensed for 15 years.
Oh, so you got some time, man. Got a little time, man.
Yes. Yep. And I'm still here. I feel like it wasn't easy because, in real estate, we go hard and then sometimes we need a break because you don't want to get burned out.
Yeah.
So I think I've been very fortunate to be able to be a realtor for 15 years and show other people how to be realtors without getting eaten up in the shark tank, as what I call it, in the world of a bunch of men.
Especially because people don't really last more than like a year.
Exactly.
I know a lot of people that I started with, they not in it no more. They don't really last more than a year. And like you said, I don't even want to say it's a I guess in a way it might be a male-dominated area. Now when I really think about it, it is a lot of men. Is it more men?
I feel like it may be more women, but not by a high percentage.
Okay.
Just because women are like, oh, I want to do that. Like, we're more prone to jump out and try something new and try something different. So I'll say it's more more women, I'm sorry.
Okay. But then, like you said, a lot of women just want to jump out and just try things and don't really, I know a lot of women that all the women I know that's in real estate, they try for a little bit, then they might jump out. But it's like then it's a small percentage of them just like staying in it, selling houses, doing a lot of things.
Okay.
Whereas though like I see a lot of men, and I honestly I rather see more women. I like when I see women go ahead in business, real estate, and selling stuff, because I feel like, me personally, this is just me. Me personally, I feel like y'all have a different outlook, y'all have a different touch, y'all have a different hustle. So I'd rather see more women in real estate, selling houses, doing business like that. Like I like that. I love that stuff. But when it comes to like, cause when men, it's like,
y'all don't have that touch.
yeah, it's a little different.
You're under contract, talk to my assistant.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Yeah, we have more of a nurturing, I mean, we're women, so we have more of a nurturing type of attitude towards our people, because we feel like a mama bear. Like, I'm gonna take care of you until the end. Yeah.
So what made, so you got you started buying houses first, and then you went to become a realtor. When did it hit where it's like, all right, I want to go ahead and sell some houses, like my own stuff. I want to do my own flips and get more so like in the investing side of stuff.
I think I got that feeling. I probably like year 10. I've always felt like, not to toot my own horn, but I've always felt like that I was a really good realtor. And I actually used to have an investor.
I called you for advice.
Yeah, and I feel like I used to have a mentor who I said, I want to get into investing, and he was like, why? You're a really good realtor. And I was like, I want to do both. So from that, I realized that I've helped so many people buy houses that I need to start taking advantage of it myself. And how can I do that? Okay. So when I got my first property, I was like, I'm ready. Like, I've been watching all of these guys before me, and women, and investing and flipping, and all I need is a good contractor on my side, and I'm in the game. Like, I'm trying.
Why do you think people always trying to force you to do, not you, but people just force somebody into one thing? I see that all the time. People always say like, yo, you're a realtor, lock in on that, focus on that. Or, yo, you're an investor, don't try to be a realtor. Like, why do you think people like, especially like you said, the guys told you that, like, yo,
you don't
focus
need to do
on that. Yeah, why do you think that?
Well, I don't know if they don't want us to come in and, try other options, because when we become investors, that takes away inventory from the next person.
Yeah.
So it's probably like, no, just kind of stay in your lane, let us do that. But I found that if you have an opportunity, you got to move on it. It's not going to be, no, I'm waiting and this is not the right time. Like, in my mind, I always go back to that quote, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. And it's really, really true, because there's been a time when I wasn't able, like, credit, I didn't have enough money saved, and I'm like, I'm doing all of this stuff, I'm selling all these houses, and I feel like I'm not in position to do what my colleagues are doing. You're
still in the same spot.
Yeah, so you got to figure out who to get next to, who to mentor with, who to be with that can show you a way out of that. It's like tunnel vision. And you got to be able to switch up a little bit, because doing one thing in real estate, as you know, can burn you out.
Hell yeah.
Like, I don't want to just take buyers around. I want to be multifaceted. I want to help sellers. I want to help investors. I kind of got off of helping renters because I felt like my time was valuable, and somebody can go down the street and get a rental.
No, you can say it straight as a waste. Yeah. I did a rental one time, and that was, I tried it 3 times. 2 times I had 3 different people. 2 people, I was showing them around stuff, and it just was like, yo, what the hell am I doing? It's a waste of time. And then the 3rd time was actually my friend, and I told him no. He was like, yo, my landlord's selling the house. I got 30 days. I found him something. But after that, I said I would never help nobody find a
because when certain people call you, you feel obligated to help them.
Yeah, this is like one of my close friends, and like he was in a serious situation. But we found that really fast. But so our question to you is, you having different mentors, and you said who to find out. Do you find women mentors, or you find men mentors, or it doesn't really matter to you?
I
know some people like to find somebody relatable.
Right. A lot of times I think women feel like that in the beginning because they feel like, I don't know how this man is going to take me. Is he going to take me serious? So I might want to pair up with a woman first. But then a lot of people see like, oh, guys are cool. Like, it's not all about somebody coming on to me and somebody feeling uncomfortable. Like, I can work with either. I can work with men. I can work with women. I'm going to honestly say in the beginning, I was attracted to men mentors because I felt like they knew more. And I didn't know a lot of women in real estate 15 years ago.
Back to what we were saying.
Yeah. So now it's like, okay, I'm the woman. You can call me. Like, I'm the resource, point people in the right direction. And that's what we do. That's what we do as realtors. And that's what you do when you become a mentor. Like I always say, I'm not responsible for your success. I'm just trying to pull out of you to see if you got what it takes to be successful.
Exactly, so you can see yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what you're doing though, especially because you got the team. So how many agents on the team now?
2.
So 2 agents, the realtor team, right? So
and transaction
team
coordinator.
Okay, so yeah, and y'all definitely able. I done deals with all 3 of y'all.
Right.
Multiple deals with all 3 of y'all. So y'all definitely. What I can honestly say, just to, give you flowers now, what I can honestly say is the way you train your team up is like all of them, like all 3 of y'all, especially, the 2 agents, they like really do their thing individually. Like they both selling houses, they both doing their thing. But every time I'm doing a deal or have a conversation with them, like one-on-one, your name always come back in the mix as in she did X, Y, and Z for me. Okay. She helped me X, Y, and Z. And I think that's good because, like you said, when I first got started, I reached out to men because there was not that many women I could call on, right?
Exactly.
Not to be, sexist or biased, but you just said I didn't have that many options.
Right.
So now you kind of changing the, I won't say culture, but changing the,
and I think social media has helped that a lot because you get to see different people, different states. So I follow all types of women. And, we got Auntie Aisha, we got all these women that, we love and we can look up to. And I'm like, yeah, these are the people that I want to get close to. These are the people that I want to know. And that just happens with growth.
Yeah. So now you teaching, nurturing, and just being like a mom tour to people like the 2 agents right there to where like you really, and that's why I really wanted to, have this conversation today for other women to see like, yo, this is somebody that could be my, mentor, mom tour, whoever, to me from, social media, from the TV, from the cell phone, and maybe even one day link up in real life that you can really change lives. Because I already know from the gate, I know 2 people that you literally change their life. They will literally stamp that. And then I'm pretty sure there's a whole bunch of other people doing the exact same thing. And I think it's good. Like I said, I'd rather see women, doing all these amazing things. Because like I said, y'all had a different touch. Y'all definitely have a different, outlook on things. And honestly, me personally, I feel like women hustle way harder than men.
Right.
It's just not, like you said, it's not a whole bunch to where it's like, but I think that's changing though.
It's definitely changing.
I know I see it like in my mentorship programs. It's like more women joining on than men.
They want to come and learn. I mean, because a lot of them are the leaders. They're the some girls' boyfriends might be like, I don't know, babe, whatever you want to do. Yeah. And then if she got the information and he got the money and, we coming together and we, form a partnership and now we got an LLC and, we the next top investors in the city. So it really matters to kind of just follow through whatever you want to do.
Even with just like buying houses though, like not even just trying to invest as being a homeowner. I think, I know for me helping, when I was like seriously active like in the realtor space, all my probably 80-90% of my clients were women. Right. And what I realized was two things to that, right? And I want your opinion. I want your honest opinion on it, right? What I realized is that one, women took it way more serious than men. Home ownership, being a homeowner, buying property took it way more serious than men. I don't know why, so I would love your input on that. And second, women took their finances, credit, and all that stuff a lot more serious than men. Okay. Every time, and it's not like the man wasn't around, the boyfriend or husband around. He would be right next to her, but the house going to her name. Right. Or like she had the down payment money, he didn't. Or she had the credit, and he like it was more so the weight
lopsided.
Was like she had everything more so than him, and I feel like going through over that for a couple years, I'm like, yo, women really are a lot more serious about this stuff than men. And I liked it. I loved it.
Right.
Because one, I feel like this is the other thing I want your input on, right? For me, when I was heavy in the realtor space, right, I don't really deal with it too much anymore. Okay. But when I was heavy in the realtor space, I realized that I went to this class, and the guy said, what would you identify your favorite client?
Okay.
Your best client, identify your perfect deal. Like, what's the ideal deal, right? And I'm like, okay, and I thought about a couple transactions. And he said, what's the common denominator of these transactions? I'm like, yeah, they're all women.
Yep.
And he like, so break that person down so you can always look for that type of client so every deal can go perfect again.
Gotcha.
So I identify, I'm like, all right, so my favorite deals of all time I did that was smooth, easy, was like a woman under like 35, 33, right? Had like $10,000 to her name, right? Plus or minus around that number. And either didn't have a boyfriend or a husband. Okay. Or had one and didn't care what the heck he was saying.
Right, like they just gonna do it.
They didn't care. They was gonna do what they gonna do. And what I realized about that, right, and I want your opinion on this, because what I realized about that is this: we about to crack the woman mind in a way.
All right, I'm about to.
What I realized about this: women, and correct me if I'm wrong, they like having somebody to basically, I don't want to say have somebody lead. I guess I can say, because what I realized is I would say like, yo, that's a perfect house for you. It hits this, the value's going to be going up in the next couple of years. This neighborhood is good. I'm giving them all these facts about this house, and they like, if you say it's a go, I love the way it looks, but if you saying that back end stuff is good, let's put the offer in. Right. Or I would say like, I don't think this is the one. All right, let's go into the next house. They listen, not in me telling them what to do, but like they took my opinion a lot more. But then because
they look at you as a professional, you're the expert.
Exactly. Right. But then when I realized the women that had like hands-on husband, or like they really took opinion, the guy would be like, you know what? I don't know what he talking about. You shouldn't do it. And then they would end up doing it. I'm like, yo,
and then you miss out.
You miss out. So what I realized, that type of client, that type of woman is the one that always worked out best, because they actually looked at me as a leader in that space, and everything worked out smooth. So, but why is that to where like women buying houses where that works out better? Right. Women, it could go probably like 20 different ways.
It could go so many different ways. I'm gonna tell you, to be honest with you, I have the opposite experience when I'm selling houses. For real? I feel like the men know what they want. They're gonna make a quick decision. I'm not gonna be showing 20 houses. And the men clients are my ideal clients, because I feel like everything goes much quicker. Women, you do have to take more time, but if they're in a relationship, their husband or their significant other is probably trusting them with this decision. They just like on board. I've had husbands just like quiet. I mean, they spending their money, they're doing that, and they're like, whatever she want. And it's just kind of like, okay, in this situation, a lot of men give women the control in a house buying situation, because you got to live here. This got to be your haven. You got to be comfortable here. I need you to cook. I need you to take care of my kids, and I need you to be happy. So that's what it boils down to. Women like to make that decision. I mean, if you have a male that's dominant, like you say, and they do like to, like we should do this and we should go in this direction, it's kind of like your male is giving you kind of like permission to take the lead, but he's still there. You know what I mean? Whether y'all talk about it later, pillow talk, or whatever the case may be, he's like, you go here, babe. Like, if you like it, roll with it. So, yeah, but with women, I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, let's take a break. Like, we done saw 10 houses, you don't like them. They all in the same neighborhood. They all look alike. So, like, this is what you're going to get in Mount Airy.
I'm glad you said that too, because for people that's, going to be watching this as realtors or think about being realtors, men or women,
Right.
how important do you think it is? So I want to switch it to like helping somebody that's thinking about being a realtor. Like,
Okay.
so a lot of people I know I've had issues where like you said, you're showing people 10, 15, 20 houses, right?
Okay.
How do you have that pivot to where like, I want to start closing these deals and stop showing a whole bunch of houses? I know for me, what worked for me is like, after like between 5 and 10, whatever the number was, amount of houses, I stopped like, hey, look, let's have a conversation. Let's take a break. Because obviously we on two different pages, because I know 3 of them houses was nice.
Exactly.
But you didn't press play because of something. So you need to go home, go in
Talk
time out, and
about
figure
it.
out what you need to do. Because I
Sleep
know
on
for a
it.
fact,
Right.
them houses hit everything you asked for, but why didn't you pull the trigger?
Right.
So if people's watching like, yo, I'm having that same problem, what would you say, go ahead and do?
You're not buying a house in this home buying situation. So you do have to have a level of patience with clients. So if I have a limit, like I set, 3 showings, okay? I'm going to give you 3 showings. If I show you 15 houses in that showing, in those 3 showings, and you can't make a decision, then we need to go back to the table. It's discussed. You're supposed to have a buyer's consultation with every client before you take them out and put them in any, in your car to show them any houses. So you have to establish your guidelines in the beginning. Like, you're giving me your criteria. This is everything that we're going to look for. And if this isn't it, then we need to come back to this table, because at a certain time, a realtor, like, your clients can make you feel incompetent. Like, I can't find them a property. Like, I know I'm not crazy. This is what they said they wanted. Like, we need to come back and have a talk, because I don't want to, waste my time. Right. And I don't want to waste your time. So I actually tell my agents that your energy needs to match your client's energy. Their motivation needs to be your motivation.
Okay.
Yeah. And I tell clients, like, we categorize A, B, and C buyer. Like, my A buyers are priority. You're a C buyer, but that doesn't mean you can't quickly become an A buyer. So you need to know where you are, and also recognize from me that if you're not one of my A buyers, you're not going to hear from me every day. You might get touches. You're not going to, but I will put you on an automatic search. I will, stay top of mind with you until you're ready. And that's just a matter of follow-up.
Yeah, I used to do the same thing, actually. Like, when I plan out the week of how many clients I have and who needs to go out, I would be like, all right, who's top priority? I didn't even think about it A, B, and C. I would just be like, yo, who's ready to go right now? Like, if it's 10 people in this database and I threw, 20 houses out there in that database, who would be the top 3 people that will go ahead and pull the trigger now? Those are the 3 people I will focus on. And so, but how you say it, A, B, and C. I never thought about it like that. I just was like, who?
And we actually have buyers rate themselves. So when they come in, I give them the whole write-up. I'll share it with you. I'll give them, it's a whole write-up, and it says, are you an A, B, or C buyer? It gives the meanings, and then at the bottom, it has them rate, like, I'm a B buyer. And then you'll rate yourself and then sign off. Shoot. That goes in their file.
Oh, shoot.
So it's a whole process. We got a whole system.
So you kind of got like a whole setup, a whole solid foundation with on the realtor side of things. So for somebody coming in, they're like, yo, I want to be a realtor, man or woman. They're like, I want to be a realtor. I want to succeed. And I would say you have a more knowledgeable success, if that makes sense, because you said you've been in it for 15 years. So you've been a part of that whole 08 thing, trying to sell houses around that time. And you've been in selling houses in the social media age. Like, so you survived all of this stuff.
Right.
So you can honestly give advice. What would you say for somebody just coming in, like, I want to be a realtor, I want to make some money in real estate, selling houses, helping people, acquire home ownership, I help people sell their listings.
Okay.
What do I got to do? Like, how do I be successful that first 12 months?
I feel like...
and I feel like you produced that with your 2 agents.
Yeah. I feel like people need one-on-one mentors.
Okay.
I don't like a lot of group sessions and coachings, and maybe it's because the way I was taught being a realtor. When I first got into the business, my broker paired me up with a realtor. They said, you're going to shadow this realtor for the next 30 days. You're going to hear how she talk. You want to see how she writes up a contract. If you get a deal and need to write up a contract, she's going to read it. I don't want you to embarrass yourself, okay? So
that's different these days.
yeah, like everything that you do needs to run by me. And I feel like that's a part of mentorship, leadership, and making sure your agents are looking good. So if somebody is coming in today, like, I don't think you should be alone. And if you do feel like a lot of offices like make you join the group trainings, you know, like, this is your coach. We had 2 coaches here. We need you to get with someone so you'll know what you're doing. So just be ready to work. If you're a new agent, like, you have to learn everything. Real estate school only teaches you how to pass that test.
They only teach you the
I
laws.
taught classes on opening lock boxes. You'll be like, why you do that? Because I had agents call me like, Belinda, I don't know how to open this lockbox. It's like, real, true story. I'm like, okay, we need to have a class on that. So you just never will know like what'll happen to you in the beginning of your career, and you need somebody to shadow, because of course I've been to a house and not been able to get in the lockbox. Like,
I had that happen one time. It was like a lockbox from like the 40s.
Yep.
Like, I don't even know how it was like.
You ever open one from the side, a lockbox from the side?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they got all
Like
kinds.
this one was like literally like from the 40s. It was already a little rusty, but the way the combination, it wasn't like a regular combination code. I never, still to this day, I haven't seen a lockbox look like that ever since then.
Yeah,
but
like meet me at the property. I don't know how we'll use this lockbox.
I might have broke it off. I ain't even gonna lie. Just to get in, I might just like, hey, I found it like this.
Right.
But yeah. So would you say for new people it's important to, cause you market on both ways.
Right.
You see it's important to jump right into social media or like try the traditional ways?
I think you should do a little bit of both.
Okay.
Especially traditional ways. I think you should let all your family, friends know you're in real estate. If you got to do mailers to a neighborhood, or just put yourself out there. Like, if you want to be successful in real estate, you can't be a secret agent. And everybody will let you know that. Like, speak up. Don't be quiet. I need to know you're a realtor. Your family might not want to deal with you in the beginning, because a lot of family members are like, oh, I don't want them in my business. And that's true. You know, thank God I've never had that problem. Like, all my friends have come to me. They trust that their business is going to stay in my circle. I'm not letting it out.
Right.
So I think that's how you get repeat business and how you just build relationships.
That's good though. That's good though. I would, and even for me, it was like that at first, but I sold a house to like my cousin.
Okay.
When they seen that happen, next thing you know, the rest of the family was like, oh, you legit.
Yep.
Oh, it worked out. All right. You know, so I think, and I don't even know why people do this. I think it's a reverse too. So you know how people say, like you just said, people don't want people in their business.
Right.
I think it's also the reverse. Like, sometimes the realtor, the person, are scared to call on their family because they know I just started yesterday.
And they may not know I don't.
I'd rather go to a stranger because they don't know my time frame. They don't know how long I've been in this. They don't know nothing about me. So I can pump fake and say I've been doing this for 5 years, or act like it ain't never asked.
Right.
But a lot of times, we as a realtors just starting out are scared. Whereas though, like, one of the things I did was, as soon as I got in, I had started talking to some of my family members, and I had got that one chance with like one cousin.
Okay.
And then they literally like,
I'm telling you, my best friend gave me my first opportunity. I was scared to death to approach people. That was like, they're going to know that I don't know what I'm talking about. So my girlfriend kind of.
whole time you knew more than you thought you did.
Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I said, let me, see if she want to buy a house. So I definitely started with family. Now, as you get more familiar and people know what you're doing, then of course you got to integrate social media into it. You got to be seen. You got to show yourself. Or, some people don't like showing themselves. Whatever your style is to get out to people, you just got to be consistent with it and keep doing it.
Right. So now, what would you say was like your best deal? And what would you say like, yo, this was worse? Like, this was like a nightmare.
Wow. My best deal was with my repeat buyers. They called.
So it was cool the first time. The second time it was.
No, it was cool the first time. It was cool. They was a new couple, but when they called me the second time and told me they wanted to buy a $500,000 house, I was like, what?
All right, bet.
It was smooth. It was their house sold. The new construction was almost done, and they just kind of moved right in. Like, I feel like I did like a sell and a buy within like 45 days. Like
That's a good check.
It was the best transaction that I had. It was the first time I ever did a $500,000 deal. I was like, oh, this is nice. I want quality over quantity. Like,
yeah,
that's
that was that shift.
Yeah, that was that shift. That was my shift in the mindset. Like, and now, like, I feel like the newer agents have it good. Like, for me to be able to refer a $250,000 deal to my team member and not
was different.
It would have never happened. You think somebody was gonna give me a $250,000?
Nah, they're like, I might as well keep that check.
I'm gonna keep it myself. And
especially with houses even selling.
No,
the median price now is $250,000.
Yeah,
like you look
when
at the
I was
stats.
selling houses, like steady, like 50 houses a year, $125,000.
You selling 50 houses a year?
In the beginning,
that's a good situation.
Yeah, I was like, but I can't do it anymore. Like, that's when I realized I wasn't the numbers person. I wanted quality over quantity.
That's 50 houses off of social media. This is raw.
This is way
before the gram, before all that. Mm-hmm. That's good. Mm-hmm. So you literally have, I knew this already, but I didn't know the exact digits. So you literally have the ability to really be teaching people. Like, that's a good number. Like, a lot of people don't even sell 10 houses a year. Like,
yeah, the average realtor probably only sells 6 houses a year.
I think it's less than that. So it's crazy. But like, so like for my first year, I sold like 16 or 17 houses from March to December.
That was really good.
But to do 50, that's a good. So,
and you had to touch. If I sold 50 houses in 1 year, I definitely touched over 200 people. Like, not ready, credit not ready, don't have money, just the phone calls coming in, the consultations. Like, all of those people come through, but you only convert a certain amount of people. So if you only meeting 20 people a week, I don't know if you're going to do 2 deals a month. So
wait. Break this down. Like, so how did you do that 50? Like, cause that's we know it's possible. For some people, like, dang, that's a good number. That's a great number.
Mainly, it was a combination that year. It was a combination of my lender and referrals. So I feel like after you're in business, you're like your 3rd year of being in business, a lot of your work is going to come from referrals. They're going to call you. You're not going to have to do as many phone calls, and I make 100 calls a day because I'm not a caller. So I know for a fact that 95% of my business is referrals. I may get 5% social media, but they may know, oh, I know you sold my cousin a house.
But it's the quality you gave out to the person, and it's coming back around. And that's the thing that people, like you just said, like a lot of people just rush into a check, like you said earlier.
Right. People can smell commission breath, trust me.
Commission, I ain't hear that one. Commission, bro. That's true though. Like, I know a lot of people that's like doing bad business just so they can sell the deal real fast. But they never worry about. They understand. They don't understand how come when they bought the second house, they called you, they didn't call me, bro. I don't know. Like,
that happened to me. And guess what? I am so proud of the young ladies that it happened with, because I feel like I kind of missed the opportunity with them, because y'all into everything, like Airbnbs, this, that. And then when they called me, I referred them to someone who wasn't experienced with that. And because that happened, they went elsewhere. They went with a younger realtor. They went with a realtor, that was up on all of those, like, I'm going to do this. And so it was fine. And I'm proud of them because they're making big moves, but I know I got them started. I still have a relationship with their mother, and they still come to my events and anything that I have. So it's still a relationship that I built. So their mother is not going to go to their new realtor. She's still going to come to me. Right. And she's still going to give me referrals. But she knows that I helped her daughter in the beginning.
But it go back to that quality. See, that's the problem. Like, and it grinds me up because people are so scared. I don't say so scared, so short and cheap. I would say that's the 2 words I would say. People are short and they're cheap.
Okay.
Short as in short with conversation. I don't want to go say the extra words. I don't want to go the extra mile. I don't want to send the extra text. I don't want to send the extra phone call to make that person feel good so I can get the referral on the back end.
Right.
Or I'm too cheap. I don't want to go ahead and get a closing gift. I don't want to go ahead and send a follow-up gift card. I want to send a follow-up postcard. A lot of people they short and they cheap, but then they don't get the long referral.
Exactly. You know what I was told? And I wasn't told this. I read it like Brian Buffini, like back in the day. He said, you reward the referral in the beginning. Like as soon as somebody give you a referral, send them something. Because, okay, imagine Belinda sells a $500,000 house. I referred her, and then she sends me a $20 gift card to Starbucks after they settle. That don't look good. Because I know she could have spent a little bit more than that.
Right.
So send it in the beginning, like, hey, thanks for thinking of me. Here's a $20 gift card to Starbucks. And then as that continues to happen, when you continue to do that, all your clients going to know, like, I referred Derek, you know, he's going to give me a $20 gift card. I didn't send him 10 people. I got 10 gift cards to Starbucks.
Right.
But it happens in the beginning. Now, if you want to reward them later, send them flowers, like do something bigger, you know, to recognize them, you can do that. But always reward in the beginning.
That's some game.
And that was from Buffini.
I didn't even think about that. Like, I know one of the things we did was that and it kind of like went viral on social media. And I see a lot of people.
The baskets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see a lot of people copy that.
Yeah, and now they're giving baskets as settlement now. Like
yeah,
here
a
you
lot
go.
of people copy it. Like a lot of stuff I was doing. Y'all lucky I'm not in the space like that no more. A lot of stuff that a lot of people doing, I started doing, and it was like you said, the basket. So we literally would go ahead and like every 10 clients, every 10 to 20 clients we would do this, right? Go ahead and we spend $15 to $20 per basket. But to some people, $20 times 20.
You put some detergent in there, like, oh my God. Like,
we putting everything in there. Like real, and these are not no wicker these baskets from Ross. If Ross was like $8 by itself,
right?
You know what I mean? Spend another $12 on things, and really wrap it in plastic, put the bow around and all that.
Like, oh, they still thinking about me.
But the crazy part is, we going house to house. We spend one full day from morning to night dropping them off and sitting at the house for 20 minutes.
Right.
Who's doing that? Who's doing that? But that's the thing is, people too cheap and they too short. I don't want to spend I don't spend my whole day. I'd rather shorten that time and send a text message. And I don't want to spend $400-$500. I'm gonna shorten it down to just spend nothing.
Right.
You know what I mean? So that's the things that people not willing to do, but you and I are willing to do. I think that's good because now you getting the referrals in the back, and like you said, 95% of your business referral. That's crazy.
Yes.
That means you built a recession-proof business, basically.
Yep.
Like to where you don't have to go ahead and worry about marketing anymore. All you got to do is worry about people calling you.
I sat down with one of the team leaders. I think since I've been at KW, we've had like 8 team leaders in our office. But one of them that I particularly sat down with, he told me to change my mindset to, you can get buyers. That's your specialty. Okay. Now you need to start focusing on listings. So you can be 50-50 so you don't burn out. So I'm big on, don't burn yourself out. Then he sat down and he looked at my numbers and he said to me, you were, I don't know, $200,000 away from capping in KW.
Yeah, a deal.
And I'm like, I was? And he's like,
yeah, that's a deal.
You only did 24 closings. And he was like, you almost did it and you was one deal away. And I'm like, okay. From the time that I sat down with that man and he showed me a formula and how I should, go about how many deals I need to do and all of that, for the last 6 years, I've made 6 figures. Like I've never made under 6 figures.
That's decent.
So it's just kind of like, okay, now I'm on to the next stage. I need to, 7 figures. Like I need to have a portfolio.
Right.
So your mindset changes. Just it could be one conversation.
That's what it take though.
Yeah.
And that's the whole point of this. Is for people to hear that conversation that may spark and put you in a place like, yo, I need to stop playing.
Yeah, or and you can do it because I had a full-time job. When I became a realtor, I kept my job for 3 years.
Where'd you work at?
I was nervous. Janney Montgomery Scott, downtown. I was annuities processor.
Okay.
So I was like, I made a lot of money there, and I was like, I don't know if I should stop. But I just felt led, like I felt like that I was a really good part-time realtor. And I said, if I get the opportunity to quit this job
And do it full
and
time.
do it full time, I'm going to. And at the time I was married, so I did feel like I had a little support. But you can do it. You can have a spouse or not and still be
make it
successful
happen.
and still quit your job. Absolutely.
I'm glad you said that too,
Yeah.
because it's a lot of people that feel like they can't do it because they don't have support. They don't have a spouse. They don't have somebody in the house that can help them, whether it's with bills, whether it's with kids, whether it's just moral support, just having somebody in that corner. But you know, like you said, like you don't need. So you can go ahead and make it.
That's why I'm saying a part of stay prepared, because with staying prepared, you should have money in your bank account. You should have at least 6 months of your expenses saved up. So if you do that before you think about quitting your job and stepping out on faith and, you know, running your full-time business, then you'll be successful. Because in my mind, I was like, I'm not turning back. I'm not going back to that corporate job. I'm not doing their numbers. I'm not doing any of that. And I felt like if I didn't have that cushion, I wouldn't have stepped out. But if I would have prepared myself and had more than enough savings and I was good, and I know I have that skill, I can always go back to that if I want to.
Exactly.
You know, you got that skill. So it was like do it. Like, if you want to take a step of faith, just do it. Like, don't wait, don't keep, because you'll be
look for
depressed and miserable.
validation and all that.
Yeah, you don't have to do that at all. I do feel like, though, I've experienced a lot of everything in real estate, and I feel like I lived my life. Like, I don't feel like I missed out on anything, like experiencing anything. I had the corporate side and I had the entrepreneurial side. Like, most of the referrals and stuff I got were from my friends that I had jobs with, you know? So I'm blessed, like, totally all the way around 360, because I know it was supposed to happen like this. This is my gift.
Right.
I don't think I'm supposed to be doing anything else.
That's good. But like you said people can smell commission breath. They can't on you, because this is like literally passion. This is like I felt like a glow just now. Like, yo, I felt you really serious about this, just how you feel about it and everything. Now, you said something a couple minutes ago as far as like spouse and stuff. Like, I don't know how your situation was, but for some people out here, we just talked about how people don't have a spouse and they should keep going. What about somebody that has a spouse but they're not supportive, especially from a woman's standpoint?
When you're a woman in a marriage,
a regular relationship, engaged. Like, how do you feel like somebody should handle that? If, because a lot of men, I feel as though a lot of men, they're like, yo, my girlfriend doesn't really like support 100%. Like, F her, I'm still gonna go do it. Like, a lot of men they just ignore and just keep going.
Right.
But I'm not a woman, so how do women handle
with it?
If you like in a situation where like, yo, he's not really supporting what I'm trying to do, like.
Right. Well, you have to sit down with your mate and really tell them what you want to do. You know, when they see you working hard, you up all night, you on a computer, then they kind of see like, oh, they really serious about this. Like, maybe I ought to, you know, maybe look at it a little bit different. And you can't always rely on your spouse to give you support when you're getting started and stuff. You have to have your groups, you have to have your circles, you have to have like-minded people around you. So if you go home and your spouse could care less about what you sold the house today, like, you need to talk to your mentor or talk to one of your colleagues.
Have somebody to vent to, whether it's positive or negative.
Exactly. Have someone to vent to. And I feel like eventually, you know, your spouse will see the fruits of your labor and they'll kind of like jump on board. And if not, then you just have to deal with them as your spouse, and they have to respect the fact that this is your career.
Does it get to a point where if that support or that non-care goes that deep to where it's like, all right, this may not work? Does it get to that point where like, okay, I was trying to deal with it, but I can't. Like, you literally not supporting me at all. Like, does it get to the point where like, all right, we need to talk about like.
Yeah, we might need to separate, because that's a turn off and it doesn't excite me. Like, I need somebody to keep me motivated or to at least act like they're interested in what I'm doing, and vice versa. You know, you're supposed to support your partner and what they're doing, and if you can't, then that may mean a difference of like my situation is I'm divorced. I was married for 10 years, and I feel like my husband at the time was on 2 different paths than I was.
Okay.
So when you're interested in doing something and the other person is not, then it may not work out, because while my hustle doesn't have to be your hustle, you have to have
You have the
one.
respect, and you gotta have it.
Exactly. So sometimes it just doesn't work out for people, and some men can't take, you know, their woman being out, and you know, you dealing with all these people, and you meet and you too friendly and all of this other stuff.
Yo,
so,
that actually pisses me off.
Yeah.
Like, it really, because I know, like, you, the people, your agents on your team, and a lot of other women I know that are actually, so it's funny because the job I used to, probably my second job only in my life, I had, I worked at a retirement home.
Okay.
And the whole job, it was probably me, it was probably like 4 guys, probably like 5 of us. The whole job was all women. So I'm
Okay.
around all these different women, and they all got, like, some got boyfriends, some don't, some got husbands, some don't. But what I realized was a lot of the ones that had the boyfriends, not the husbands, they wanted to go back to school, or they wanted to go back and get their masters, or they wanted to start a business. Because you got to think, right? A lot of us, we were all around the 20s age. 20, like I'm 27 now. This was a couple years ago. I'm like 21.
Okay.
I started that job when I was like 19 or something like that.
Right.
So like we all around 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. 23 is when I quit and I got into, 23 when I quit and I got into real estate.
Okay.
So around that 21, 23 space, that's when people like, all right, life is real now. Like,
Right. I need to start.
I need to
taking
go
this
figure
seriously.
something out. Like I need to
Yeah.
mix, and then obviously I'm working with people that are 30 or a little older. Like between that job was probably between 20 to 35. There's a range of women in all that different ages.
Right.
But more of the stories, I realized that a lot of the women that wanted to go ahead and go back to school or start a business, like, all right, this retirement home, we was making $10 an hour. Like, all right, this is
This is not
all right, I want to take it to the next level.
Right.
They will all be saying like, yo, he's not really supporting what I'm trying to do. He wants me to just stay here. And it used to grind me up because I used to feel like, yo, this is crazy. Like, nobody wants to support what you're trying to do.
Exactly.
And I see that a lot. I see that a whole lot. A lot of women, they want to go ahead. Like I told you, I think women hustle harder than men.
Right,
That's just the
right.
honest truth.
Right.
But a lot of these men aren't really supporting a woman in what they trying to do. Men probably watch this like, man, you pissing me off watching.
I know, but
it's
I
the
mean,
truth though.
You may
It's
not
the
be able to
truth.
stay with the person. I know a lot of men aren't supportive.
It's the
Imagine
truth.
me being a realtor with a jealous husband and trying to sell you a house and taking you out to see houses. Like,
It ain't gonna work.
It ain't gonna work. It ain't gonna work. So if you don't have a person that's in that mind frame that can be like, all right, he cool, she's good, I know she's gonna check in with me, just, be courteous, show respect, and, hopefully it'll work out. But if you got somebody that's the complete opposite of you and they're not trying to hear it, that may not be the ideal relationship.
But you think it's possible it can work though?
It can. Oh yeah, it can. Like I said, you just have to separate it. You have to
Right.
learn how to separate and give it some balance. And you just never know. Every relationship is different. So it depends on how you come together, what your pillow talks are about, and how you can move forward. And if you can't move forward, then you move on.
Right. So for women that's gonna be watching this and they're like, they may be in that space where like, yo, I'm thinking about starting something. I'm thinking about getting into real estate. I watched Belinda's interview and she said like some things that she sold 50 houses in a year. She said she did this, she said she did that. I want to go give it a try. Let me shoot it past him. Man, you don't need to be doing it. You're doing good at being a nurse. You're doing good being a CNA. You're doing good working at, I don't know, police department. I don't know, wherever job you at, right?
Right.
And why do you need to go ahead and do that? Push it to the side. Then he bring it up again. He says the same. Like how would they handle that in an aspect, because this is new to them. This is that business is new to them, and having that conversation with him is new to them.
Right.
Like how would they is it worth just going, just leaving the house, not leaving the house as on a leaving relationship, but just going out, just starting these stuff?
I feel like they can do both. As long as you give it balance. Men like attention just as much as women do. So you definitely have to, you know, give balance, set schedules. I wouldn't say leave your relationship totally because your partner isn't supportive, but you just have to, you know, weigh things out and see if it's going to work out. I did both for, you know, like the 3 or 4 years, and I really didn't have too many problems. I was open. I told my partner what I wanted to do. And they may have not been that supportive in the beginning, you know, but as time goes on,
when they see, it's like, oh,
they
shoot,
see
she's
like,
serious.
oh, she doing this and she doing that, and she bringing checks in. She, you know, like, okay, like, let me like ease up a little bit and maybe look into what she's doing. Maybe I can help. Maybe I got a business. That's how all couples start off. Like, well, you know, if your woman is persuasive enough, if she can get you in, like, babe, maybe you need to start a trucking business. Let's do this. I got all of these clients, you know. So I think when you bring people in, you know, a little bit more, maybe they feel like they're more a part of what you're doing and helping to your success.
So a lot of times people might feel like they might be getting pushed out too much. That's why they might not be with it. But if you pull them in a little bit, they might be a little more open to like, hey, I like you starting your business. I like you doing it because you're not leaving me on the outside.
Exactly.
So that's good. That's good. I like that because like I know for a fact it's people out there, there's women out there that want to start stuff, want to do stuff, or go to the next level, but their spouse may not be like 100% supportive and they don't want to leave. But like you said, maybe giving them a role or adding them a part of it may help, may fix that. That's good.
Yeah.
So last thing I want to say is we touched on it in the beginning, but I want to go back into it. The investment side of things, right?
Okay.
So you have rental properties, right?
I have 2.
You have 2 rental properties, and then you've done flips, right?
I've done about 8 flips.
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah. So like I knew you did a couple flips. I knew you did 8. That's decent.
8, and I'm doing 3 right now in the process.
At the same time?
Well, we're doing the team flip. We're about to start that. I have a family flip, as I call it, because my cousin was my partner at one time. So I still call it the family flip. And then I have a partnership with my contractor.
Okay.
So we picked up a property. So we're in the middle of doing 3 renovations.
My guy, he's nice. His work is nice. His work is clean. His work is clean. So, so you about to have like 11. What was that? 11? 11 in total. That's decent. So, now, quick thing I want to ask is, and the reason I hate to bring up like the gender thing, but I think it's decent because you don't, I want to press on it because it's not, like you even said, there's not a lot of women that's out here doing those type of things, but it is a lot of women that want to do that type of stuff. Like, so now somebody watching this like, yo, she's really having this conversation.
Right.
And really got receipts behind it. Like, yo, I really want to tap in. I really want to, like, I'm listening to do 11. It's men out here that's not doing 11 flips.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So, and I seen your work, quality stuff. So for somebody, you know, one, let me ask you this. 1, men or women, how did you get involved to start doing your first flip? Okay. And then 2, the backup question is how, for a woman, how can she get involved doing the flips, but dealing with the #1 question I get asked from women all the time? Okay. How do I deal with contractors and they don't respect me as much? It's the honest truth. Yeah. I've had friends that are girls that will call me and say, hey, I'm meeting to go look at my first property. Can you come? Yeah. Because I know he's going to try to play me, or he's trying. And I seen it with my own eyes. And I had to check this guy one time. One of my friends, she was looking at buying this property, and I came, but he didn't even know that I knew what I knew. He thought I was just like, you know, the little brother. Like, I don't know who he thought he was. And then he was saying some stuff. It's a shame that y'all got to go through this, but he was saying some stuff, and I was like, yo, that's wrong. And he like, what you mean? I said, bro, I fix houses. Like, I know what I'm talking about. What? No, you can do that. You can't do that. It doesn't cost that amount of money. He was saying, like, it's going to cost like $25,000, $20,000 to demo the crib out. Right. And I'm like, you tearing it down? Yeah. And he's like, no, because I'm going to get the dumpster. I don't know how much the dumpster costs. Right. But it's a shame, but it is what it is. So how would you... how could a person in general get into doing their first flip as far as like finances, loans and stuff like that? And second, how would a woman handle contractors just in general?
Getting into your first flip, a lot of investors or hard money lenders are going to be, the first thing they're going to think you're a novice. You don't know what you're doing.
Right.
So I like to tell people these days, like, partner up with someone who has already been doing it. Or if you just want to go straight in, like, I love Jumpstart Germantown. Like, I tell everybody to go there.
I tried to use them. We ended up never going through.
But the information that they give you, their rates, all of the stuff that they have going on, like, I think for a new person is good. And the good thing about Jumpstart Germantown is that they pair you up with an experienced investor.
Mm-hmm.
So being paired up, meeting their contacts, seeing how they work, having them with you, it definitely makes a difference. And I know for a fact that men try to get over on women with prices.
Right.
Like,
so wait one second. So Jumpstart Germantown, I know about them. I applied. I actually did the mentorship program.
Okay.
Yeah, summer mentorship. I did it. But for people that don't know, that's the lending program. They give you the money to buy the house and fix up. It's like 15% of the whole loan amount, right?
Like 7 or 8%. It's the lowest around.
No, I mean like your down payment.
Yeah, 15%.
So you buy the house for $50,000. You need $50,000 to fix up. Your down payment is 15%.
Correct.
15 grand.
Correct.
Whatever,
and you do have to put some money up in the beginning to put out because they don't advance money.
Right.
So you do have to have some skin in the game.
Yeah.
So I think they're a good program. I think they're a good program to pair up with. There are other hard money lenders out here that, you can get with. Or, it may not be a hard money lending situation. You may be able to, get a duplex, a triplex, live in one, rent out the other properties.
Yeah,
it's so many different ways that you can do it. You have to sit down and kind of have a one-on-one consultation with someone that you feel like you trust, somebody you getting to know, you've been watching. And I feel like when you have those conversations and reach out, then people can kind of steer you in the right direction.
Right.
Jumpstart, I did do a project with them, and it was really good. They came out, they checked it, they did the draws, they checked the work, and it went kind of smooth. So I'm like, but I haven't been able to get another property like in the area to use them again. I know it's Jumpstart Philly.
They're stretching it out.
Yeah, it's Jumpstart Philly now. So they're in all neighborhoods.
Right.
So.
But yeah, I tried to use them. I had a deal that I was about to buy. It was going to be a flip. I don't want to say it, but I think the owner might have died midway through the deal. So we never end up closing it. Like, I still got the keys to the house.
Right.
Like, so, and I try to contact whoever the fan, I just can't get in contact with nobody. So I would love to finish that because the value went up even more since then.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, like I was buying it for 40 grand. Like, houses on that block sold for like 240.
Okay.
And they needed $60,000 worth of work.
Okay.
So that's a 6-figure spread right there. So, and then the other time, I tried the second time, but the deal didn't go through. So it wasn't their fault. Okay. But every person I know that went through them, and I had clients that sold their properties through them, they like.
Yeah, they on it.
Easy,
they know what they're doing.
Smooth. I like it. So I had to cut you off, but it's back to like the contractors, like women dealing with contractors, especially contractors trying to get over it. Like I hate that, but.
Right. Get your uncle, get your brother, take them with you. Just have a male presence. Sometimes
be that face.
It helps. And then on the other hand, you have to stand up for yourself. You can't be scared. They giving you prices. Let them know you're going to get a second estimate. You're going to get a third estimate. And, they may not be the cheapest because the cheapest is not always best. Yeah. But I feel like you should always go in the middle. Unless you have a proven history and you have a good referral rate. Like, this person only charged $500 for this. It usually costs $1,000. Okay, I'm going to go with him because he's not trying to get rich off of one job.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that's the contractors you have to find. Don't try to get rich off of me off of one job because it's not going to happen, And then they take your money.
Hey, home runs.
Yeah. They take your money and it's like, oh, you coming to the job today? Oh, no, I got 3 other jobs to do. So, you just have to
You didn't tell me that.
You got to be careful. So you may have to pair up with a mentor or get a general a GC that can help you deal with the contractor. So that's always helpful.
Yeah, that's good. I'm glad you said that too, because like I said, I've personally myself went with friends that are girls to their projects or their properties that you're trying to buy, and I'm hearing a contractor throw out numbers and I know they're wrong, and you know, to men.
Or not wrong, just overpriced.
No, these
Like,
prices be so overpriced, they wrong.
They
Like, yeah, these prices
like,
be.
where you get that from?
Yeah,
You
it's
just made
like,
that up?
or they'll say things that's not right. Like, for example, it would be. I remember I went. I was looking at helping somebody look at this one project, and it was like they were gutting out the kitchen. It's like something like they were like, "Yo, we got to go ahead and buy a whole dumpster." I was like, "Bro, you can get a U-Haul to do that." But they were trying to wreck that. Yeah, you know, because we got to get a dumpster. We got to charge this. We got to charge this. I got to pay my guys. I got to. They were like, I'm like, "Yo, you got in the kitchen.
Right.
You could put that whole kitchen in a U-Haul.
Yep.
Or a dump.
Yep.
You don't need a whole dumpster. No, but I got this. And,
or tell you I'm getting a dumpster. And you ain't nowhere around when I'm doing the demo, and I got a U-Haul truck.
Yeah, or you know what, we end up not needing to get it, but the U-Haul costs just as much. Like try to spin it somewhere. It's a shame, but you know it is what it is. But I think that's good having a male presence, like because I was there for some people, like just having that male presence to where that people like, oh, like you know what, let me not try them. Right. Let me not try that. Right.
I have some female investor friends though. They you know them. They stand up for themselves.
Oh yeah, I know a few. Yeah. I'm pretty sure you do. You do as well.
And yeah, because now I know. Like I'm educated. Like I'm not gonna let you get over on me. Like I know how much electric costs. I know if it's a standard house in Mount Airy. Like I know how much it costs to wire that house. So you're not gonna get over on me. Right. So it's just even if you gotta go to a class to get a spreadsheet to tell you, what this should cost, what that should cost, at least you'll have a roadmap to kind of like, okay, well this was for a 1,500 square house, but now we talking about a duplex or a triplex. So could the cost be more? So just kind of like knowing and having a basis of, what you need to be looking at for prices is important.
You scared of basements?
I'm never scared of basements. I go down first all the time.
Yep. I hear that all the time.
Even when I'm in there with men, I go down there first. You all right, Belinda? Yep, I got it. Come on, I've been in worse situations.
I be hearing that a lot of times. Like I got a like I said, I got a mentorship program. People like, I gotta go in the basement. Like, yeah, that's where the heart is at.
Yeah,
the heart of the house is in the basement. I really gotta go in the basement.
Yep.
That's dope. So well, I want to say I appreciate you for just stopping and just having a conversation that matters.
You're welcome.
I definitely think I know for a fact you changing a lot of lives out here. Like as far as like right off the gate, I know 2 women right out the gate that you have honestly changed their lives, and they honestly tell me all the time and the things you've done for them. And I'm pretty confident that there's millions and millions of other people that's watching, that's looking, that's watching every single day, that's changing the outlook, changing their thought process, or just wanting to get into real estate because of people like you. That's like, yo, like, she's in the game. Like she was, and she was married and still was, getting stuff done. She had a family and still was getting stuff done. She went and did 8, 9, 10, 11 flips. Yes. She sold 50 houses in 1 year. She did this, she did this, she did that.
Right.
And it's a lot of y'all out here, but they're not being talked about as much.
Right.
And I think that's the problem. I really think that's the problem. And I appreciate people like you that's coming up and talking about it more, exposing yourself more, coming on things like this so we can have a conversation so people can see that. Because like I personally know a lot of you guys, but everybody doesn't, because like you said, in this male dominated space, there's more men.
Quiet.
There's a lot more men.
A lot of women lay low. And before social media, like I have to like make myself do stuff on social media because I wasn't a social media realtor.
Right.
I started out.
You started from the muscle.
Yeah. So for me, it's kind of like, what are you going to talk about today? Make yourself do a post. Like I'm that type of, I'm 45 years old. So, I've been through a lot.
I keep forgetting that.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that.
I'm an OG realtor for real. Yeah. So it's been exciting. I'll probably give myself another 5 years before I retire.
All right.
But before that, I plan on opening
That's really throwing me off because I keep forgetting, like...
Yeah, like 15 years, like, I know.
When you said it, I don't know if you people, I took a pop like 15. I'm like, I'm 27. Like, dang, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, but and my daughter is 22. She's like, Mom, I want to do this, I want to do that. I just feel like the 22-year-olds are way more advanced than we were But we were having fun back then. You know, I was hiding shoes in the trunk. I wasn't worried about like real estate and am I going to buy Airbnb? Like I wasn't doing that at 22. So now I feel like we are positioning, you know, the younger people for so much more. And that's what we want to do. We don't want to struggle. At 26, I was thinking about buying my first house, but I wasn't thinking about investing and
You just
putting
wanted
my
a house
money.
to have.
I just wanted a house. Yeah. So I'm proud of everybody. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of all the young people coming up.
it.
I learned from you. I'm like, Derek, you know, like introduce me to this person. So I appreciate you as well.
No, thank you.
Yeah.
One last thing, just, you know, quote, hack, just something you want to close out with. You talking to, I don't want to say just one, but talking to people in general, younger people in general that's, you know, coming up, want to start their real estate journey. Like, what's one thing you want to just tell them?
I would tell them to be serious about their goals or commitments that you make to yourself, and to keep your emotions in between the line. Don't let your feelings get in it. Like, just stay calm and keep business business, keep personal personal. And if you do that, you will go far. You'll go a long way, because a lot of times people, you know, put their feelings in it, and it's not about you. It's about the person that you're dealing with.
Right.
So keep your emotions in between the lines, and you will, you know, have a booming career in whatever you choose to do.
All right, bet. Thank you. One last thing. What's your Instagram contacts? Anybody in Philly want to make sure they can reach out to, they want to buy a house, sell a house, or maybe even got a deal they want to send you so you can do your 12 flip, or 10, 12, 12 flip, right?
I'm buying. I need another one.
What's your Instagram somebody can go ahead and tap into?
Okay, you can find me at Homes by Belinda _ on Instagram. And Facebook, I'm just Belinda Johnson, realtor.
Okay,
so it's pretty easy to find me.
Bad. You still taking on new clients, right?
I have a hold on that right now.
What?
But the team is taking on new clients. But for me right now, I'm studying to get my broker's license. So I have been not taking on new buyers. So that's going to happen soon. So.
And that's the very next move.
That's the very next move into my retirement, to be a broker and retire at 50.
I see that happening. It might happen next year.
Your mouth to God's ears.
Here we go.
All right.
So thank you again.
Thank you.
No problem.